하나, 둘, 셋. 안녕! So today I'm going to be breaking down Weekend by Taeyeon, and if you didn't know, she's part of the girl group Girls' Generation. So let's get right into breaking down the lyrics. So the first line we're going to break down is 창문 너머 계절의 시선이 닿은 그 순간. And this is actually pretty hard to understand even in Korean because it's a pretty poetic expression, but the direct translation just goes, the moment my eyes touch the season beyond the window. So if I were to break it down to make more sense, it's really saying like she's viewing outside in this beautiful season, whether it be like spring or summer. It's more of like a brighter, like bright weather, warm, and she's trying to say like, oh, the outside is just beautiful and lovely, and like my eyes are like drawn towards it, and like in that moment, it's just like you're taking in all of this view. The next line is 쏟아지는 햇살 내 맘을 두드려, and the direct translation for this one would just go, the pouring sunlight knocks on my heart. This one makes a bit more sense. It's basically saying, oh, the sunlight is kind of pushing me, pulling me to go outside, and it's like relating to the weather outside that she just saw in the previous line. It's like pulling her to come outside. And the next line is actually connected to this one, which is 내게 손짓하는 싱그러운 바람 타고서. And this is still referring to the sunlight that is knocking on her heart. And the translation for this line is saying the sunlight kind of rode on this beautiful fresh wind, and it's like beckoning to her in the same context just to come out and enjoy the weather outside during like this beautiful weekend. And then we get to the chorus, which is 떠나볼래 when the weekend comes. And here the only verse that we need to translate is 떠나볼래, which means like I want to leave, I want to travel somewhere, and it's basically just relating to this aspiration to go out and go on this adventure. And the next line is 바람 따라 흩어진 cloud, and this is referring to basically the translation would just go, the clouds are scattered following the wind. So it's kind of just describing the weather, the skies, and how the clouds are kind of in this spread out and like this beautiful kind of paintbrush-like shape. And the next line is 더 자유롭게 we can go, which is basically saying we can go freely. And now we get to 가장 가까운 바다 혼자만의 영화관. And here let's first split up 가장 가까운 바다, which means the closest sea, and 혼자만의 영화관 is like my own movie theater, the movie theater all to myself. So it's like describing the excitement of just really spontaneously going to the sea or going to the movies, and like on the weekends you're just enjoying your own free time. 그냥 이끌리는 대로 해도 괜찮아 is the next lyric, and this directly translates to it's good to just do whatever pulls at your heart and whatever leads you. This is basically saying that all these spontaneous trips are supposed to be fun, they're supposed to be exciting, and it's okay to just go out and do whatever your heart tells you to do. The next line is 훌쩍 떠나보는 drive, 뚜벅 걸어도 좋아, and this translates to spontaneously going on a drive, and it's okay to aimlessly walk. So this still maintains that context of going on impulsive trips and doing whatever you want, like going wherever your feet take you. And it still goes with this like vacationing, this very free and fun type of vibe. 모든 발길 닿는 대로 지금 떠나보려 해 is the next lyric, and this is actually pretty similar to the previous one. It's saying I'll go wherever my feet take me, and it's still maintaining that context of I'll go wherever my feet take me, wherever my heart takes me, no matter what destinations, I'll just leave and travel. Now let's go over some important words that you could use in daily conversations to better express yourself. So the first word is 싱그러운, which means fresh or fragrant, and you can actually use it with a lot of other words. So you could say 싱그러운 꽃, which means a fresh flower, or you could say 싱그러운 향, which is like a fresh scent. And you can actually put them together and say 싱그러운 꽃향, which means a fresh flower scent. Next is 영화관, which is movie theater. And something you actually might want to know and could be useful is the word or 관 at the end of 영화. So 영화 is movies and 관 is like the place where the first word occurs. So 영화관 is like the place where you watch movies. And you can actually see this in 도서관, and 도서 is books, and 관 again is place where the books would occur, like where they are, which actually translates to library, which makes sense. So these next two words are actually pretty important. We used 훌쩍 when we said 훌쩍 떠나보는 drive, and I said it's like just spontaneously, impulsively going on this drive. But 훌쩍 actually has some other meanings. It could mean the way it's used in this song, 훌쩍, which is like this behavior, like you're just like suddenly getting up and you're leaving. But 훌쩍 can actually be used to describe the sound you make when you sniffle, like after you cry or when after you sneeze. So it's like 훌쩍 훌쩍 할 때 is kind of saying like when you're kind of sniffling and you're like you're doing like the kind of sound. It's used to describe that sound. And the next word is 뚜벅, and in the song it was used to say 뚜벅 걸어도 좋아, and this was more used in a context to say like just walking around aimlessly, and you really use it to describe like the walking motion of someone. And something important to note is that in the Korean language, it's really common to repeat the word to kind of emphasize it. So as I said before, 훌쩍 훌쩍, and even for 뚜벅, rather than say like 뚜벅 걷는다, which does make sense, it's more commonly used to say 뚜벅뚜벅 걷는다. So it's like it's really placing the focus on 훌쩍 훌쩍 and 뚜벅뚜벅 to really describe the sound or the motion. There's also definitely other words that are used in this similar way, but we'll get to those when we go over some other songs. So hopefully breaking down this song and going over some helpful words will aid you in your daily conversations, and I'll see you in my other videos. 안녕! 하나, 둘, 셋!